Everyone's an AI expert but me. Now what? You've been doing your job well for years. You know your craft, you deliver results, and people trust your judgment. Then suddenly, it feels like everyone around you turned into an AI expert overnight. One day, the conversation was about projects, budgets, and deadlines. The next, it was vector embeddings, copilots, and agents. And somehow, everyone seems to know exactly what they're talking about. It's disorienting. The truth is, most professionals are still figuring it out. They're reading, experimenting, and trying not to look like they're behind. AI is moving fast enough to make anyone doubt their footing, not because they lack skill, but because the ground itself keeps shifting. Here's the uncomfortable part. What it means to be competent and trusted in your role is changing. In the early 2000s, being competent meant knowing your way around Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. That familiarity quietly separated those who could get things done from those who couldn't. Within a few years, it wasn't an edge anymore, it was the minimum standard. AI is becoming that new baseline. The difference is speed. The shift that once took a decade is now happening in a couple of years. What seemed like an advantage in 2023 is quickly turning into a baseline expectation by 2026. So, yes, the bar is rising, but not in the way people imagine. It's not about replacing humans, it's about how humans use the technology to extend their reach. When I talk with colleagues, the concern isn't really about the technology, it's about relevance. A junior analyst can now do in a day what used to take a team a week. That doesn't make experience obsolete, but it does change what experience is worth. Knowledge without leverage doesn't go as far as it used to. The good news, catching up doesn't require a crash course in computer science. It starts with learning how to communicate with these systems clearly and intentionally. That's what prompting really is. Not typing clever sentences into a chat box, but learning to think in structured instructions. It's a skill that blends logic, context, and creativity. To get good at it, start by paying attention to how you ask questions. Be specific. Give examples. Set boundaries. Treat it less like a search engine and more like a colleague who needs direction. Over time, you'll notice how subtle tweaks in wording completely change the outcome. That's when it clicks. Prompting isn't about tools, it's about thinking. To get truly high quality, trustworthy results from generative AI, it's not just what you ask, but how you ask. Mastering prompt engineering is the key. First, treat your prompt like a formal brief. Structure it with clear, readable sections like purpose, business context, and instructions. Separate your background information from the actual commands. Next, give the AI a persona. Assign it a specific role, such as a seasoned operational risk manager. Provide context, tell it your organization's size, industry, and location. This activates the AI's most relevant knowledge. From there, get granular about the output. Don't be vague. Instead of asking for operational risk, ask for technology failure risk. Define the attributes you need: title, description, and examples. Specify the format, length, style, and content rules. Finally, set boundaries. Use negative prompts to explicitly tell the AI what to avoid. To combat hallucinations, instruct the AI to ask you clarifying questions. A powerful trick is to ask the AI to self-reflect and review its own output before answering. So if you're sitting there thinking, everyone's an AI expert but you, remember this, nobody really is. We're all learning, testing, and pretending to have a plan. The difference is that some people have already started practicing. That's how you catch up. You start.